Yo guys, it's Matty Talks here, and today on this video, we're talking about my Molly addiction. So this started when I was probably I think I was 15 and a half or 16, and the first time I did it, I was at a party in Vermont, and I remember being there, and I was completely wasted. I was high at balls, brought a whole ounce there, and was just chiefing on that. I remember walking in, and there was some dude in there with dreadlocks, and I was smoking a blunt, and I was like, yo, where do I ash this? And he's like, ash it in my hand. So I ash in his hand, and he just goes, it's good for the dreadlocks, man. And I'm just like, oh, okay. But later that night, one of our friends was there, and she's like, yo, have you ever tried Molly before? And I'm just like, well, no. And she's just like, well, I've got some if you want some. And I'm just like, I don't got any money on me. Do you want to pay for a point for me? And she was like, sure, if you pay me back. I never paid her back. But, so we go in the back of this room, and so the party's here. There's this hallway, and there was this room. And we went in the bedroom, and there were a bunch of people sniffing coke in there, and then they whipped up this Molly, and we're just like, okay. And it was these little crystals, and she hooked me up with more than a point, though. It was like 0.2, 2.5, something like that. And I put it on my tongue, drank it, and I remember going back into the party, and I'm like, when's this gonna hit? When's this gonna hit? So I was playing Pong and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden it hit me like a train. And I'm just standing there, I'm like, whoa. I was so messed up, yo. One of my friends was telling me that I kept on saying she looked like a big old teddy bear and stuff like that. And I remember some kid there. He was an Asian kid, and he was on the counter with his shirt off and his pants off, and he was all messed up, like geeking hard. And I'm like, what is wrong with this kid? And he ended up breaking his bong on a table and tried slitting his neck with it. Like, this guy had like slits across his neck and just blood dripping down. And I'm rolling hard on Molly, and I'm just like, what is this kid's issue? They ended up kicking us all out. And so I was with someone that I won't name, and we ended up driving to another party, an after party. And he was also rocked off Molly. And he was driving, in the middle of a storm, middle of a snowstorm. And this kid's like swerving all over the place. It was bad. I remember some parts of it, and then some parts I don't remember. But what I do remember, it was so fucking scary. Like, just thinking about it just like gives me an anxiety. It was so scary. So then we get to the after party, and I just start slugging beers, playing Pong and slugging beers, and then we go down to this basement, and I took another point of Molly. That hit, and I was just going hard. Like, music was on, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that type of stuff. And I remember the person that gave it to me told me, don't smoke weed on Molly. It will fuck your stomach up. Me being 16, never trying it, I know everything about drugs. Oh, I smoke so much pot, I can do anything. I can smoke it on anything. Well, there was this weed going around, and it was called Jaeger. And this stuff was so goddamn strong. Like, you take one hit and you're coughing for like 10 minutes straight. The shit was just strong as hell. And I remember them passing the bowl to me. I took a fat rip, inhaled, and as soon as I inhaled, my stomach started going, and I'm just like, so I grabbed this like plastic dish thing. I don't know. It was like this deep. It was like that round. And I just start projectile on like hard. Like hard. I filled that thing all the way up. One of my friends ended up taking it. So mind you, it's middle of the winter, so the wood stove's going. They take this plastic thing full of puke, throw it in the wood stove, and just shut it. I don't know. I had the worst roll ever. I was rolling so hard, and it was just bad. I was scared to go upstairs because the homeowner, I thought she was going to be mad at me. So I'm just like, can you go get my friend? I'm not saying any names, so let's say, can you go get Jim Bob? And Jim Bob comes downstairs, and I'm just like, you were right. I smoked and I puked so hard. La, 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 la. And she's like, don't worry, she's not going to be mad at you. She's not going to be mad at you. And I'm just like, all right. So that made me feel a little bit better. I go upstairs. And this is how goddamn hard I was rolling. I ended up eating another point. That hit. And by this point, I'm like, out of body experience. Like, gone. And so I'm talking with one of my friends about Molly, and she's just like, I know you're pretty messed up right now, and I don't want you eating any Molly because it's going around really bad up here, and I'm just like, yeah. And as we're talking, I lift out of my body and see myself talking to her in third person view. It was so unreal. It was like, what? And make sure you guys check out my amazing sponsor, Melanson Photography, at www.melansonphoto.com. He does the best stuff. I'm telling you right now. Now, I was going with that for like 2 months. I was eating Molly straight. And not every day, but pretty close to every day. Like, probably Friday through Monday, I was just eating Molly and Molly, going through like 1.5 grams every 4 days. It was bad. And I remember the last time I ate Molly, I was at a party. It was one of my buddy's birthday parties, and there was probably 300-400 people there. I'm not lying. Like, this party was huge. So we're there, and we're sniffing a bunch of coke, and there's a bunch of people doing ketamine and stuff like that. Like, people walking around like just all geeking on ketamine. I remember some kid walked out of a tent. He's my buddy. And he walked out and he's like, oh. And I'm just like, what is your issue, dude? And he's just like, dude, I just did so much ketamine. And I'm just like, okay. So later that night, I ended up getting my hands on a bunch of Molly. And I would literally lick my finger, put it in the bag, twist it all around, and eat it right off my finger. I probably did that, I'm not even lying, probably 11, 12 times. I don't know how much Molly I ate, but it was probably close to 1 gram in a night. And if you guys ever done Molly or ever heard of like what Molly does, just like a point of it, a gram is a shit ton. Molly literally creates craters in your brain. It's not good. And so I'll try to find a picture of me all messed up on Molly. I think I have one, but it might be with another person. I'm not sure. So I might not put it in if it's with another person. So I ended up eating like a gram of Molly, and one of my friends was DJing there, and he does like a bunch of like electronic music and stuff like that, a bunch of remixes, and one of my favorite songs comes on, and it's a remix, and I'm dancing around. Like, one of my buddies told me, he's like, dude, I've never seen someone's body move like that. And when it really hit, I was probably like 12, 13 Budweisers down, and I ate all that Molly and did all that coke, and I just felt wicked sick. So I went over the tree line, and my two buddies that were with me walked over there with me, and I just started puking hard. And if you remember in the first video, me telling you about when I smoked the PCP and started puking, my head felt like a balloon. Yeah, that's what started to happen. I started to puke, and it was like I could literally feel, like, hear my head going, and I was like, what? So I get done puking, and my pupils are like this big. You can't even see my eyes. My pupils are just huge. And I look at my two buddies, and I'm like, let's fucking party. And I run over to the music and just dancing and tweaking out. I remember there are these two girls in dinosaur costumes, and they were trying to dance and stuff, and I went over to them like, get on my level, and just started tweaking so hard. It was bad, super bad. But moral of the story, don't do Molly. Molly's not good for you. I think that's part of the reason I'm so numb in the head, is all the Molly I ate. I'll be honest. Either that or the cocaine. But that's my story for you guys today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe about this, because every time I think about this story, I'm just like, man, I acted like a fool. Most of the times I was all messed up. I was a straight fool. Like, straight fool. But like, comment, subscribe, guys. Thank you.